Hey guys, this is Coach Bryan Hart, and today I'm excited to be able to share something with you. I've been working on a project for a little bit as I've been preparing for the International Coach Federation's certification, and the purpose of this assessment is to help myself and anyone else who would like to use it to be more confident that the calls that they are recording and looking to submit to the ICF or to their trainer is of the caliber that it needs to be in order to attain the certain level of certification that they're looking at. Really, the purpose of this video is to connect to the tutorial. So it's going to fade over to the tutorial, and I hope that this assessment is very helpful for you in growing to become a better coach, and I will see you on the tutorial side. Here is the assessment. If you got the link, you might load right into this introduction and index. You'll have, of course, the tutorial video link there, but more importantly, you have 4 different types of assessment. 2 are self-assessments. You can use those to see if the call you'd like to review would be worth the time of someone else that you would like to peer review. And then you also have the 2 peer assessments, and those are going to be more valuable because they are going to have a little bit more of an objective look at them, and the math on them will also work more powerfully for you. There's also PCC and versus MCC level assessments, professional certified coach versus master certified coach, and there's just a small distinction. We'll look at that in just a bit. Once you get on here, after you select the version that you like, if you were to click this, you go to a screen just like this. But let's say that you wanted the PCC assessment for peer review. You'll just go up here and make a copy. And when you make a copy, you can put in here like your name, your client's name, and maybe the date. And then you hit OK and save it. And that'll allow you to have your own editable version of this. Make as many copies as you'd like. This is an open source resource, and I hope it is very helpful for you. As you get into here, there are 7 different elements that are encouraged to be in an ICF submitted call. These are not necessarily going to be a part of every coaching call by any means, but they are helpful to have as part of your standard ICF call. You can put your link of the call, whether it's Google Drive hosted or anywhere else that you have it hosted. Put your link here. You'll want to share it. So you change your share settings to anyone with the link can edit, probably, so that your peer can edit it, or you might share it with them specifically using their email. Once you get this, you can begin putting your data into here, and we're just going to put in some basics. As I'm doing this part, I want to point out that with a 1 to 10 scale, it is really easy to get in the habit of grading yourself somewhere around 7s, 6s, and 8s. Kind of statistically speaking, that's going to be a norm with a 1 to 10 scale. It's where we are comfortable answering questions in these kind of scaled tests. When you are doing this, though, to be beneficial for yourself, or for this to be more beneficial for yourself, make sure that you are as honest as you can be in the process. So that if you need to give yourself a 1 because you did really poorly in this section, then give yourself a 1. If you feel like you did an outstanding job, be honest with yourself and give yourself a 10, and anything in between. And to better understand how well you're doing, you can reference these explanations in this middle column. Also, this in-call time estimate is just the general amount of time that these things will take in a normal coaching call. So as you review this information, you'll become more acquainted with what to expect in a coaching call. You should be pretty familiar if you're at the point of looking at an assessment. But again, you want to give yourself a relatively honest, objective score as much as you can. And I know that's hard, and that's why we want to do the peer assessment more than anything else. So you'll notice these 2 numbers have changed. These are totaling up this information and giving an average out of 100. And so this is a 52%, this is a 35%, 35.7. And anything below 50 is going to score just in the red. It's not qualified as something that looks very good to turn into the to the ICF. Yellow is between 50% to 70%, and it is likely something that should be in the realm of an ACC submission, at least based on my formula. And again, there's no guarantee here, and I want you to be very comfortable with the assessment on your side, but that does seem to, in my opinion, represent somewhere around 50 to 70% represents around the ACC level in each of the core competencies and in this overview. Anything that's in the green will be more representative of PCC level. And so as you do better on a coaching call assessment, you'll see this number go up, even to the point where if you are just doing outstanding and you're giving yourself honest feedback and your peer reviewer is giving honest feedback, you should see this number go up to where it will turn blue, and that's somewhere around the MCC level. And so that's an encouraging place to be. That's really where we want to be by the end of using these kinds of assessments. This is just the overview, though, and it is only to be used as a quick snapshot of a call. The more valuable, but also the more time-consuming assessment is here. And this is the 70-point assessment. It looks at every one of the 11 core competencies. The first one is really just a pass-fail. If you have done any of these things in a call, it creates a failing situation. And these things are explained again in the explanation. And then there's all the remaining questions. You can rate them from 1 to 10. And so can your peer reviewer. And in these explanations, you'll see that in this version, the PCC version, it looks at PCC explanations. The MCC version, master version, is going to look at the MCC requirements. Okay, so as you can tell here, this information is already populated. Everything in the overview estimate is now pulling from the other sheet and giving some relatively, some pretty accurate snapshots of what you would likely see yourself hit in each of these questions based on how you did on the overview. So this overview estimate is mainly here to help you see whether or not this call would be worthwhile to grade in a more in-depth way, because this whole 70-point assessment, it does take some time. So if you're getting grades that are really close to a 70 and you're looking to get PCC, you might want to grade this to see if it's worth submitting, or where you need to grow in order to get the PCC level with the ICF, and that's the point of the overview. Is this worth reviewing more in depth with yourself and your own time, and also your peers' time? Let's say that it is worth your time. You can work with your peer reviewer to look at all of this. Again, this is an unofficial document. You can put in your information. Each section is going to be graded in an unofficial way, but it should give you a better grasp of how well you are doing. And anything that's low graded, you can look at how that relates to the core competencies that the ICF has published and work to improve that score. This assessment, my disclaimer here, is targeted at their standards using the information that I find from their website and from their material, but it's not made in partnership with the ICF, and you should keep that in mind as you use it. But I do hope it's helpful at giving you an idea of where you stand with your own coaching calls as you look to turn those into the ICF directly, or maybe to your trainer, so that you can be more effective as a coach. And that is, in my opinion, the whole point here. It's not, the goal here is not just to pass a test. The goal is to grow as a coach. And as you do things like listening to your coaching calls, you will get more prepared for the call submission to your trainer or to the ICF. You'd be more prepared for the test, the assessment that you have to complete as part of any ICF credentialing. But more importantly, you will be a better coach as you refine your skills of facilitating the coaching process for your client. If If you want to do any follow-up to this document, to this assessment, you can check out the references here, and those are directly in line, or they link directly over to the ICF's core competency comparison chart and the overview of the core competencies as well. Again, this is Coach Bryan Hart. I had a blast making this for you guys, for myself. It was such a learning process, just building it for me, and I hope it's helpful for you as well. Continue to grow as a coach, and so that you can help others grow as you facilitate the coaching process for them.